Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. It's July 17th, 2023. Great to be with all of you today. My name is Bob Lang, and I run explosiveoptions.net. Always great to be with all of you for our Daily Bites edition on Mondays and Thursdays. So Monday mornings and Thursday mornings, we get together roughly around 8:30 in the morning, talking about the markets, what's happened, what's going on, and what may happen down the road. It's all recorded, so it's on social media as well too, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and also on our YouTube channel. Go to the YouTube channel, Explosive Options 99 on YouTube. Find some more great content over there. I have some charts of the week, the daily bites, and some other really good content over there. So take a look at that and subscribe if you can. So just a quick note for you. On Thursday, we have a webinar. So I'm doing quarterly webinars now, started this year. And so this quarter's webinar is going to be a note on how to become a successful trader. Now, I wrote a blog about it this weekend, and that'll be out later on this week. But I think it would be a great idea for all of you to attend this one. This is an important one. Especially as we're coming out of a bear market and into a bull market. So we have to have a game plan and have an idea on how to play a bull market as well as a bear market. So as this bear market is sort of coming to a close, we're going to need some tactical strategies and risk control management and so forth to help us along in the next hopefully in the next phase, which is going to be a bull market. So so that's on Thursday, July 20th at 4:30 Eastern time, 1:30 Eastern time on the West Coast. So I hope you get a chance to join me. I have put the link out on social media, so you should be able to find that if you just look for me, Aztecs99 on Twitter, or if you're in the chat room, we'll have the link up there later on in the week. So so let's talk about markets over here. So we're getting off to sort of a mixed start here. We see the Nasdaq up a little bit, the Dow Industrials down about 79 points, the S&P 500 up about 6. We see some news out here today on some stocks. One that I have a lot of calls on, and some stock on this Bridge Biopharma, which is up about 55% this morning. I've been holding on to these calls for quite some time. I have them all the way out to November. So we're going to get a good pop on that. We do have some big earnings coming out later on this week, of course, with Tesla coming out Wednesday after the close. The stock is getting a little bit of a boost this morning. We see it's up about $5 today. We also have names like Netflix coming out tomorrow, Wednesday, also with Tesla after the close, along with IBM, United Airlines, Las Vegas Sands, Alcoa, Discover Financial. Tomorrow morning we'll have couple more banks coming out with Charles Schwab, Bank of America, Morgan Stanley, PNC Financial, Pittsburgh, Bank of New York Mellon, and then also Mercantile Bank, along with Synchrony Financial, which was the spinoff from General Electric some years ago. We'll also hear from Lockheed Martin tomorrow morning, which is an Action Alerts Plus name that we have. Interactive Brokers tomorrow afternoon after the close, and then, of course, Wednesday morning, big earnings coming out from Dow Industrial Component, Goldman Sachs, along with the Nasdaq, Elevance, which is also another AAP name, ASM Lithography, and Halliburton. So quite a bit of action coming out later on this week. We'll talk about Thursday when we get to Thursday. Thursday morning, actually, Taiwan Semi's coming out, so that would be an interesting report to take a look at for the semiconductors. So what's happening with the markets over here? Of course, we had a good close last week above 4,500 on the S&P 500. You see it closed above 4,505. The S&P futures above 4,535 here, of course. The inflation numbers last week were rather positive for markets because they came in a little bit lower than expected. We do, however, still see the Fed Watch tool, the Fed Funds Futures market, is still looking for a rate hike at next week's Fed meeting. 96% chance of a rate hike next Wednesday, Thursday, and then you go out to September. Not seeing much on the September number here. Let's see here. Bring this up here. 83% chance of basically staying where we're at, 11%, 13% chance of a rate hike in September. But we got to November, 27% now. It was about 35%. Now we're back down to 27%. So the market is trying to push the Fed into one more rate hike in July, and that's it. And that's possibly where we're going to end up here, because you can see here that just by December, it's about a 70% chance implied that we're going to be back here at 5.25%, 5.5% at the end of the year. So it's the market again. The market is trying to portray the fact that the Fed is probably going to only raise rates one more time and be done with it. And that's the message that the Fed is sending next week. Could be some fireworks after that. So the Fed meeting, of course, is the 25th and 26th of July. So it'll be next Tuesday and Wednesday. All right. So again, we're soft a little bit this morning on some areas. The tech names are up a little bit. Interest rates are down slightly this morning, which is probably why the markets are up a little bit over on the technology land. We also have the S&P 500 chart over here. And you can see here, listen, you know what? I mean, it's hard to argue with an uptrend, right? Its market has been basically moving up right in your face with higher highs and higher lows. We're at an overbought reading over here. But again, overbought does not mean it's time to short the market. It means taking money off the table, as we've been preaching every single day in the chat room. That's just what we do. You know, what we're supposed to be doing as traders. We're supposed to be putting risk out there, and when we have a good result, we take money off the table, right? You look for that sell button. If anybody needs help trying to find the sell button, you let me know. I will find it for you. I will help you push that button because it's so important to hit that sell button. Take some money off the table when you can. And as I mentioned last week in the chat room, I said it's much easier to take money off the table and to do selling when you have the opportunity, when you don't have to do it, right? When you're not faced with a market that's down 1% on the open, and you're playing and you're on your heels, you're playing defensively here. So this is a good opportunity for everyone. If you're in some names that you had some profits on, take some money off the table. There's nothing wrong with it. Nobody ever went broke taking profit, right? All right. So let's take a look at the VIX here. The VIX here has been making lower highs, lower lows. It's been down in a downtrend certainly since March, since we peaked above 30%. And you see clearly by these candles up here that there was nobody home, which means that nobody was really interested in buying protection up here. So if they're not buying protection, they're selling protection, right? If they're not buying, they're selling. If they're not selling, they're buying. So clearly, nobody was interested in buying volatility, buying protection over here, and that's fine, right? Is it a safe thing to do? In my experience, no. But I'm not here to argue with what people are doing in the markets. I'm here to explain what's happening in the markets and to not make judgments, simply to put my money and put my capital and my clients' capital where we can have the best probability, the best odds of making money, right? And if it means that market's selling volatility here, and it's going to be a much more safe environment for long trades, at least for the short term, then that's where I'm going to be. So when is this downtrend going to stop? I don't know. Maybe the downtrend has already stopped, but we're just going to go sideways here for a little bit. We're going to meander between 13 and 15. I don't know. But if we do spike up here about 15.5, 16, you know, that's something that's going to be notable, and we have to pay attention to if volatility is going to drop. So let me show you one more chart here on the 2-year. So this is the 2 years, 10-year yield curve. And we can see that it's still inverted by about 91 basis points over here. But we did have a nice pop in the inversion, narrowing back in the spring and the summertime, came back down, hit a low on July 1st, and it's been trying to climb up ever since. So we get back above that inversion of about 50 basis points between the 2s and 10s. That could be a real positive. I think we could get there if the Fed next week signals that rate hikes are probably going to be done, all right? Because that means that the next move is going to be a pause, and then possibly the next move for the Fed will be a rate cut. which I've been saying wouldn't be happening at the earliest until the spring of 2024. So I think we're going to be sitting here with these 5.25% to 5.5% interest rates until the Fed is satisfied that inflation is coming down sharply. And we did see the positive readings from the CPI and the PPI, positive in the sense that the market liked what the numbers were because they were a lot less than expected. So as far as stocks are concerned, let's take a look at a couple of names that I have on my radar this week. See, Taiwan Semi again is one that has earnings coming out this week, and that stock has really exploded here from the 200-day moving average up to $105. I'm not sure if this is going to be a sell in the news, but they do have earnings coming out Thursday morning. So this is a stock that I like. Also, SLB, Schlumberger, which has really taken off for the past week and a half. We did take some profits on it a little bit too soon, a day or two early, right before that pop, and boy, that really hurt because I missed this whole upside from about $50 all the way to 57. United Airlines is also coming out, and of course, one of their competitors, Delta, was really super strong last week. They had good earnings. The stock has fallen back a little bit here, but it could be setting up for a nice move up. It did have some elevated volume, some big distribution on Thursday and Friday, so that's something to be watchful for. But it's a name that I'm looking at later on this week. Also, IBM. Just kind of going nowhere here, right? But it could surprise the upside if they start talking about AI again. You know, and that whole new technology area. We could see the stock make a big move. And of course, I've always been a big fan of Netflix and made some good money on this one the last couple of weeks with the chat room. Actually, the last couple of months since March or April, since we came back down over here. So it is bumping up on some resistance over here at 450. They do have earnings coming out after the close on Friday. I'm more likely to put spreads on and not straight calls. Calls are super expensive for this weekend, for next week, and next month. Another name I have on my radar here is American Express, which has earnings coming out on Friday before the open over here. Again, it's having a little bit of trouble with this 175 mark over here, but if it does pull in for a couple of points, it might be worth a shot to take some to take a trade on. And then I could throw one more name at you here. Tesla, of course, you know, looking really, really strong, and this stock could make a move up towards 230. I'm sorry, 295 to 300 after earnings. I think they're going to be looking for some strong numbers. Is it already baked into the cake here? We'll have to see, because we are pretty well overbought here. We did pull back a little bit to this 20-day moving average. If we get a move above there, above that 285 level, look out above. This is going to make a move back up towards 300 real fast. And then last one, Las Vegas Sands. Always a name that I'm watching. These gaming names, they have earnings coming out later on this week. On Wednesday after the close, so I'll be watching this one as well too. It's got a really nice tight base here that it's built in a higher level. We could see the head and shoulders pattern, shoulder, head, shoulder here. But if we break above there, that destroys that pattern, and we could have a positive a cup and handle pattern off of this. Nice little cup here, and you can see. Let's take a look at that one here. Parabola. So nice cup and handle here on this one. If we break above that $62 level, that would be pretty positive. So that's Las Vegas Sands. So there's a lot of names for you that I'll be watching. If you're not in the chat room, come on over. We'll be talking about these names and a whole bunch of other names as well too. In the chat room. So thanks very much, everyone, for joining with me today. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with me. I hope this was helpful to you, and hope you learned a little bit about markets and about trading. Good luck this week, and I'll see you guys back on Thursday morning. And don't forget about the webinar that we have coming up Thursday afternoon, right after the market closes. And it'll be a fun webinar. So hopefully we'll get a chance to see you there. And it'll be recorded. So if you're not able to make it, I will have it available for you. Have a great day, everyone. Talk to you later. Talk to you Monday, or talk to you Thursday. And have a great trading day and a great trading week. Take care. Bye.